Hey everyone, I'm your average guide Sahil Gogna. Welcome back to another video. So I wanted to explore how's Ontario for international students, and I invited someone who has a great experience with this province. He is our Canadian dost, and if you want to know more about him, continue watching the video. So without any delay, let's get started. Hi Guru Bhai, first of all, thanks a lot for joining today.
Thank you, Sahil, for having me, and welcome to our audience. You might be seeing this is a new venue. So Sahil is here in downtown Toronto, and you can see the CN Tower right behind us.
So guys, that's the beauty of being a YouTuber. You get to meet a lot of great people like Guru Bhai, and he has already done a lot for our community. And today in this video, I thought we should talk to him and try to explore how is Ontario as a province for the international students.
Yes.
So Guru Bhai, first of all, sorry to interrupt you, but already people know a lot about you. But please introduce yourself to the audience.
Sure. So, hey everyone, my name is Kursimran Singh. People call me Guri, but they also know me as Canadian Dost. So I have a YouTube channel with the name Canadian Dost, where I make informative videos in Hindi and Punjabi languages. So that is about my YouTube channel. But professionally, I am an IT consultant working here in downtown Toronto as a business systems analyst. And professionally, I have done my post-graduation in IT business analysis from Conestoga College, and it's been around 5 years or so I've been in Canada. So been working in the IT industry for around 4 years now.
So guys, we have already recorded a video with Guru Bhai about his experience as a business analyst in Canada.
Yes.
And if you haven't watched that video, please make sure to watch that video.
Yes.
And Guru Bhai, let's now discuss about Ontario as a province.
Sure. Yes.
The first thing that all the students ask me is about choosing a college and choosing a university. So if we talk about Ontario as a province, which are the good universities? And I'm not talking about University of Toronto, obviously. Like that's a very competitive university
yes.
and also expensive.
Yes.
But I'm talking about the good universities where
Sure.
we can expect a good career, good programs, and
Okay.
also some of the top colleges that student can opt for.
Perfect. So first of all, you might be knowing that there are universities and colleges, and Ontario is like one of the hottest province to come to. Most of the people and students prefer Ontario. The reason being because there are so many good universities, and not just University of Toronto, as you mentioned, there are more universities. My first recommendation or my first ranking for universities perspective would be Ryerson University, which is also already in Toronto. So it is close to Eaton Centre, right in the core of downtown Toronto. It is also expensive because it is in downtown Toronto. But if money is an issue and you want something quality education, like which comes in the top 5 universities in Canada, then University of Waterloo is a very good option. Yes. It is like one of the most innovative universities in Canada, and it is also much cheaper in comparison. It is located in Waterloo, as the name implies, University of Waterloo. And there is another university right beside of University of Waterloo, which is Wilfrid Laurier University. It is also very great university. Reason being because University of Waterloo, Wilfrid Laurier University, Conestoga College, and University of Guelph, these 4 to 5 institutions, they have an ecosystem over there that they have like kind of incubators over there. So all the new graduates who graduate from there, they either get co-ops within the universities or within the surrounding area, and they also have good prospects because Kitchener-Waterloo is considered as the Silicon Valley of Canada, if you don't know, because there are so many startups going on because of this reason, as I mentioned, of the community tech.
This is a new thing for me.
Yes.
And since you have also mentioned some of the colleges, so if you have to rank some of the good colleges here in Ontario, so
Yes.
what would be those?
Sure.
And any famous programs in those colleges that
Sure.
you have seen a lot of students taking?
Sure. So the thing is, I've talked about universities, right? But I myself did my post-graduation in Conestoga College, and I would still suggest, if you can go into universities, go into that. But if you can't, for example, I was not getting, because universities can get competitive, let's face it, right?
Yeah.
So colleges are also really great, and many of the colleges over here are much bigger than universities itself. For example, Humber College is one example. I'm not ranking it as of now, but I'm just giving you an example that Humber College in Mississauga has University of Guelph campus within itself. So Humber College is so big that it has a university campus in the college itself. So that is something to consider. But yeah, like from a college perspective, I think the first rank easily goes to George Brown College, which is again located in downtown Toronto. The reason being why I'm ranking most of the downtown Toronto colleges and universities higher, because of the job proximity. Obviously, all the employers, most of the employers, I would say 60 to 70% of the employers in Ontario are in Toronto region, right? So that exposure to university and college is very important. So George Brown College has like 5 to 6 campuses in downtown Toronto itself. So it is well known. It is ranked close to universities in the ranking perspective, even though it is a college. That's that. Then again, because of the close proximity, Centennial College is also a very good example, because that comes in suburban region of Toronto, which is Scarborough. It comes under city of Toronto itself, so that is also well known. Same is the case with Seneca College, Humber College, as I mentioned, and then there are various more colleges. Conestoga College, for example, is also a good one, but that is located in Kitchener-Waterloo. So depending on which city you want to move to, because cities can also play a lot of factors. Some people have their friends and families. Some people, they just want an economical and affordable city to live into. Toronto is not economical for first starters. It is expensive. That's the reason people prefer to move to suburban regions and prefer and going to those universities and colleges.
And since you have mentioned a lot of cities, so now like I know about Scarborough, I know about Mississauga, there are also Kitchener and Waterloo. If we consider all the factors, like the cost of living, availability of good universities and college, which cities are good for international students?
So again, there are various factors which comes into play over here as well. So hands down, best ones would be the GTA region, because it has so many businesses, and because of those businesses, the part-time opportunities for students, because students can work part-time 20 hours. If you don't know, students can work part-time 20 hours per week. So there's a lot of opportunities over here. So whether it is Mississauga, Brampton, Scarborough, Etobicoke, all the close proximity to Toronto, it's a good win. If you can afford living in Toronto, it is there's nothing, you can see the views and everything, right? You live that Canada life, so to speak. But yeah, overall city, if I would have to suggest, I would say Scarborough is a very good city, because of following reasons. Number one, it has close proximity with Toronto, but it is much cheaper than Toronto, so that is really good. It is close to TTC as well, so it uses TTC for starters, so you don't have to buy another bus pass to travel to Toronto. You can use the same ecosystem, the streetcars, buses.
So from TTC you meant the transportation?
Yeah,
right?
so I don't know about that. So TTC means, I think, Toronto Transport Commission, something like that. So it is the public transit system of Toronto. So it covers like the streetcars, subways, buses, and it comes with great reliability. But overall, if you want an affordable city to live in, then Kitchener-Waterloo is good, London is good, and Windsor is good, because they have good colleges and universities, as well as they are much more affordable. But one downside is because it is less populated, so the number of job opportunities over there would be less.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And if we talk about Ontario, so what should a fresh grad expect in terms of salary? What can be the average salary?
So the average salary depends on your industry, obviously. Now I'm assuming that you are referring to IT industry. So because I have worked in IT industry, he has worked in IT industry, so we resonate with that. So a fresh grad from an IT industry, I'm just telling about that. So they can expect close to $50,000 to $55,000, because after COVID, it might have increased. I'm telling you pre-COVID. But after COVID, the market is really hot right now. I've seen people getting $60,000, $65,000 as a starter salary as well. So that is something to consider, yes.
Okay. And Guribhai, I have heard one thing a lot about Toronto is that it's not that multicultural when it comes to the other cities of Toronto, other cities of Canada. So what are your views on this? Is it true, or like what are some of the good cities which can give us the multicultural experience?
Okay. So I would say there's this myth, the reasoning because of other underlying cities close to Toronto. Obviously, where most of the population is, you will find all kinds of people. I think Toronto is the most populated city in Canada itself, and it has a mix of all the communities. It's not like it's just focused on one community. Yes, but if you are talking about one community, I would say Brampton and Mississauga, not even Mississauga, Brampton and Scarborough are the ones which are mostly condensed, where with South Asians like Indians, Pakistanis. We call it Desis. So Brampton has like I think 70 to 80% of Punjabis and Indians, not just Punjabis, Indians as well. Like I've seen so many Gujaratis, so many South Indians over there as well. So in terms of if you want that experience that you are living in Canada, Brampton is not a way to go. But if you want that homely feel and you want that home cooked food and all those things, then Brampton is the city to go. That's why people who initially come, they want to go to Brampton because they have friends and family over there. But if you want a multicultural city which has everything, which has like equal amount, not just equal amount, like a good amount of all the cultures, then Kitchener-Waterloo is really great, London is really great, and even Toronto downtown is good. But if you go to suburbs, obviously it will be dependent on which city you go to. For example, Scarborough is heavily condensed with South Asians in the sense Bangladeshis and Gujaratis as well. But if you go to Brampton, it will be mostly Punjabis.
Oh, okay. And Guribhai, if we talk about the permanent residency process, so is it easy to get a permanent residency here in Toronto or in the Ontario as a province? Okay. And we are talking about two types of students, one who come after high school like 12th standard,
yes,
and one who come after the graduation.
Yes, very good question. So the thing is, Toronto or Ontario in general, the PNP is not that great. It only has like 3,000 or so seats, I think, whenever it opens or in a year or so, which is very minimal as compared to number of students which come. And it is also, the PNP is only reserved for PhD students and master's level student, and that also it just flies by in few minutes whenever it opens. So that's the reason it's not good for students who are coming after 12th, because everyone has to apply for CEC. And who don't know CEC is Canadian Experience Class, which falls under Express Entry. So for that you have to calculate your CRS score, and the range for CRS score for CEC I think is 460 or 470. And if the students who come after 12th, because they don't have the experience and the education background, they are not able to qualify for those. That's the reason they either have to go for an LMIA job or they have to move provinces where they get the PNPs. So it's good city to study, but if you want to get PR after 12th, it is little challenging. That's the reason many people migrate to other provinces. That's one. Coming to people who are coming for the master's level program after their bachelor's. Now, because they have bachelor's, they get that education points. And if they have experience already, that also counts. Plus, because they study master's here, master level also get additional points, or postgraduate diploma also gets additional points. Masters get more points than postgraduate diploma. And then you have to do 1 year of you have to get 1 year of experience in NOC A, O, and B. Now, by the way, these NOC levels are changing to tier levels, so that is also something which I will obviously educate you about when it comes. But that is that. So easily people who score around 7 to 7.5 bands in IELTS general, they can get that score, because for myself, I did not have any experience in India, and I did my postgraduate, not even masters, it was a postgraduate diploma, so my points was not as high as the master graduate or the PhD graduate, but still I was able to get my PR under Canadian Experience Class, CEC.
Okay. And Guribhai, one final question. So we have discussed all the factors for the international students. So what are the major challenges that you think international students can face initially or maybe after graduating, and how to overcome that?
Okay. So challenges, as in all the challenges are more or less the same in all the provinces, but in comparison to other provinces, PR process in Ontario is little challenging. And I gave you the example of students who studied after coming from their high school and did only diploma over there. For them, it is little challenging, and for that reason, they have to move. Another thing is affordability, obviously, because it is so populated. The rents and the house prices over here are much higher in comparison to other cities. I mean, Vancouver is also very expensive, but it has the same underlying problems, that the population is so high and the area is so low. Another thing from affordability perspective is insurance, car insurance over here. It's really crazy over here. Like in Brampton, for example, any student student who, or not just student, any immigrant who is less than 25 years of age and he wants to drive that muscle car, they are actually paying like 600 to 800, even $1,000 in just insurance, which is like double the price of their car monthly payments. So that is really crazy, and that is something to consider, because obviously at the end houses are expensive, the jobs are almost the same, like the salary wise. Montreal will have kind of similar price range as, not price range, I mean the salary range, but the affordability perspective, the car insurances and the house prices are crazy over here. So that is something which is challenging.
Well, I guess that's it for our today's talk, Gauri bhai. Thanks a lot for spending our time and sharing your valuable experience with the viewers.
Thank you so much, Sahil, for having me. And if in case anybody wants to, get to know more about Toronto and more about my channel, so do follow me on Instagram. So it's Canadian_Dost, as well as on my YouTube channel, which is Canadian Dost.
I will make sure to drop the link in the description.
Check it out and make sure to like this video if you liked it.
Thanks a lot for watching, guys.
Thank you.